Coming to you live from 24th Street in San Francisco, California. Welcome to The Art Show with Sirron, Norris and Brendon, Metcalf.
Welcome back, everyone. How you doing, Mr. B?
I'm doing really well. How about yourself, Sirron? Good to see you.
I'm doing good. It's good to see you. We, of course, have seen each other in the new year, but everybody else, no, we have not seen you. In fact, we were supposed to come back for my birthday. That did not happen. Then things just got in the way, and we were just busy. And so now we're back. We're going to have some changes in 2021. Number one, my first change is that I'm not going to do news anymore. Number one, because mainly just because I'm done with the news. I'm done talking about Trump. I'm done talking about all that negative stuff. So I just want to kind of focus just on happy things. Mr. B, how do you think about that?
I like it. I think that's a really good idea. The world needs more happiness.
Right on. How you been on your break and all that since we've been gone and separated?
Thank you for asking. I've been good too, just teaching a whole bunch, which I'm really grateful for. And then commissions being backed up. I mean, you know how it is. Just more, too many jobs, not enough time kind of thing. But it's cool. How about you?
Right on. You staying safe? Are you fully vaccinated yet, my friend?
Second shot is on April 4th.
Oh, wow. You have a while, huh? Okay, by the time you get your second shot, I will be fully vaccinated. I got my second shot yesterday, 2 days ago, actually, so I have some time to go.
You feel good? Okay?
Yes. I like that clapping thing. I think we should have that for the intro. Okay, Annabelle, can you come in here, please?
Oh, hello.
Annabelle, how you doing?
I'm great. So as of today, I am 1 week post second dose. So I'll be trying
And we have to literally have like a show where we're all together. That should be our goal. We should do that next time. Since with no masks, sans masks, just nothing but all together doing a great art show. Okay, Annabelle, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. We have to catch up, everybody. I haven't been doing much. I actually took a break, but I did do a commission. The commission was pretty big. But you know what, Annabelle? You are my partner. We work together. You've been handling my commissions. I think mainly the reason why you're handling my commissions is because I do very personal paintings about people. And I feel like every time I do these paintings about these people and interview them, they become my deep friends. And I really don't need any more friends in my life. So it's better for you to kind of come in and do this bridge in between getting to know these people deeply and then just making a piece of artwork. And so,
you know why you do it, Sirron? Let's just admit that you're a really busy person. You have 3 dogs, a wife, and a full-time job where all you do is make art every day. But anyways, I love connecting with people, and I really enjoy making new friends. So these I Paint Your Story commissions are definitely my jam. If you stick to the paintbrush, I'll deal with the people.
Right on. Well, thank you. And one thing that's interesting is, one thing that I come to find out is people like to tell you to make changes in the art more than they'd like to tell me. So I think that's actually a note. And I think for people that are further commissioning things, I think it's a bridge. It also makes them comfortable making changes. So I think that's an advantage. Now, hey, do you want to tell people about this recent commission? Because I filmed the whole thing.
Oh, you filmed it?
I filmed it. You did the interview, yeah. So tell them about these people real quick.
So I got to meet this amazing woman who are currently, her and her husband are based in the city. They've been here for over 10 years, living really kind of like in this awesome high rise. I won't say where, but if you look really closely, you'll find out. And anyways, they're huge Giants fans. I mean, they have Gotham Club seats or access. I'm not really sure how that works, but if you're a Giants buff, like, that's big time. So they're huge fans. They can't wait to get back into the ballpark. They have currently 2 cats. Recently, one of their cats passed away. So they're obsessed with cats. Her words, not ours. They're obsessed. She teaches yoga. She's in the wellness industry, but she also got into roller skating during this pandemic. You might catch her at Mosswood Park. She's got pom-poms on her rollerblades. Her husband is in, I think, just some sort of, office job. They didn't really go into detail. Pretty private life, I guess. Anyways, what else?
It was more about their hobbies they kind of talked about.
Oh, they love to eat. I mean, come on. There was like golden boy pizza, Dungeness crab, since they can't get blue crab out here, so they're just settling. They love the oysters at the Oyster Co. Hog Island in the Ferry Building. What else did they like to eat? Snow cones and
they had Hawaii. Every place they took vacation. I think it came out good. It was an awesome story. Thank you for getting me all that information.
Did you get the Office hint in there? The Office message?
I did. It's the cup. It's the cup that says "World's Best Boss." I got pretty much. I think I nailed it. I got every list. So Annabelle interviewed them, and it gives me a list, comprehensive list, and I just knocked them off, drawing them one by one. Hey, Roy, can you help us out? Take us away with this video. I recorded the whole entire creation of this piece. Let's watch it now. I really like that piece. So they picked that up last week.
That's impressive.
They were happy. That ended up being a really good time. I love those pieces. I always really like the challenge of telling people stories. That's always fun. Let's move on. Let's talk about NFTs. Mr. B, if I said NFTs, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Man, I would love to learn about NFTs. Do you have any information for us?
Do you have you ever heard this before at all?
I tried. I know about them. I know they're the next big thing in the art world. My really loose understanding is something about ownership of your art and that it can increase the value of art. But I've listened to videos. I've tried to get into it, but it's a really complex thing. So if you have anything you want to throw my way or our audience's way, I'd love to hear.
I'm gonna try to try to simplify this as much as I possibly can. Hey, Roy, can you show me Beeple? Beeple. It's like people, but with a B. Now, this is an artist. He just sold one of his pieces, which is a compilation of a bunch of JPEG photos, for $69 million. Okay, $69 million, people. Now, I want to 100% will say, and I think that you all agree, that this piece right here, which sold for $69 million, is not necessarily the most beautiful piece of artwork in the world. Now, I personally think that this whole NFT thing is a little bit of the future and brilliance, and then I think the other half is a complete disaster. So number one, the NFTs and being able to kind of control selling of your artwork through the blockchain, which is usually controlling cryptocurrency, but now can kind of actually control physical pieces of art, quote unquote, is definitely the future. And I think like controlling the marketplace with not having galleries, you know me, or if you know me, I'm the first person about that. I think that that's awesome. But the way that they go about it right now is super environmentally unfriendly. Okay. So every time you see an NFT, so one of these NFTs, so this is Rareable. What about Rareable? Show me Rareable, Roy. Wow. So Rareable is a site that actually has all these NFTs online actually for sale that you can bid on. And so Rareable kind of controls all these NFTs. And if you're on Instagram or anything like that and you follow artists, you're definitely going to see their NFTs come up. I just want you to be aware that these NFTs probably cost about $80, $100 to actually mint, to put on the blockchain. So that means that you give them your artwork and you turn your artwork into theoretically a coin, so it can actually be placed on this blockchain. Now, each one of these you see here, each one of these pieces of artwork, and this is the downfall. Now, of course, this is going to change in the future, and that's going to be exciting. But right now, currently, each one of these to mint, each one of these pieces of artwork is the carbon footprint of one EU resident till 77, all his electric use till he's 77 years old. It's also like flying in a plane for almost 2,000 hours straight. So the energy consumption due to server farms to actually mint these things is just not there to the point where it makes it worth ruining the environment. But the future of it, I think, is definitely there. So I'm excited about that, but I feel like it's not quite there yet, and I don't want to ruin the environment. And I also think that the artwork that's out there is not really that good, that people are actually making all this money off of. It's just the idea of art rather than art. So I have an issue with that. So what do you think about that?
Well, I was asking, what do you feel? Is this something you'd look? Because to be honest with you, you did a really good job of explaining it too, but it still seems a little bit too distant for me to fully comprehend. But it is kind of like that Bitcoin, that FOMO, where it's like, you know, you don't want to miss out, and you see artists making bank really quickly too, so you get that anxiety of like, you know, you don't want to miss your opportunity. What do you feel? Is this something you jump into now just to try out, or wait till the marketplace kind of develops more?
I totally agree. That's like a great question, and I would answer it by this. The one thing that I found that I enjoy, and the one thing that I found that is interesting, is Ethereum, and actually like getting into the Ethereum market, which is kind of like Bitcoin, but it's like the Bitcoin stepbrother, I guess. It's like one step lower. So I spent $100 and I just bought some Ethereum. I don't know what kind of environmental impact that made, God knows. And it's interesting for me to watch that up and down. And I think being connected to the crypto market is something that's important. I think having knowledge of it, I think is important, because it's definitely the future. I just feel like it's just not there yet. Yeah. But I think that to do your due diligence is to become connected to the crypto market just by throwing in $100 and just seeing like how much money you lose and how much money you gain. I threw in a couple $100 and I've lost like $10 this week. And it's been going down this week, but I find that fun. And it's not like I'm losing a bunch of money, but I'm connected to the market and I'm connected to that idea and the idea of the future. So that's that.
Paying to learn. Okay, that's a good answer.
All right, hey, let's have an art lesson.
Ooh.
And now, an art lesson.
All right. Now, I usually kind of teach usually something that was political, but you know what? We're not doing that anymore. We're staying away from all that kind of political stuff just because we had so much of it. So I'm going to draw the most weirdest thing. Actually, my little gut bears. I love my gut bears because what they are, they're cute little cuddly bears, but they have their gut that actually also has a bear face. But the thing is the gut is like the second feeling of a person. So it's this metaphor. It's this idea that, in your head, you're thinking this one thing, but in your gut, you're thinking something totally different. Okay, so I'm going to draw light. I'm going to draw it like kind of rough skeleton, and then I'm going to kind of ink it in. Music, Roy. Let me start over again. I'm going to start out with a nice head, 3/4 perspective. Nothing too big. Now, my bears, they got another head. So I'm going to make another head right here. Another 3/4 perspective. I'm going to connect those. Make some legs. All right, so that's the skeleton basically of my dude. I'm going to ink him up now. Now, second bear.
Sirron, can you hear me?
Yeah. What's wrong?
Real quick, do you want to explain to folks? No, you're doing great. But to the people watching either on YouTube or live, do they have to draw as fast as you?
No. This is on YouTube, so you can stop this thing in like an hour.
Right.
So,
Sorry, the point I'm trying to make is go ahead and pause the video if you need to.
You scared me, Mr. B.
No, I'm sorry. I was just making the point that, if you want to pause this in the future, go ahead and pause and get caught up if you need to.
I'm gonna add an arm and a hand. Now I'm just gonna do a hand. Bam. There we go. That was our art lesson.
Very nice.
All right. You know what?
I didn't get far.
That's nice, Mr. B. Real nice.
It's close.
Right
Close.
on. Hey, dude, I'll actually say that is pretty close. You know what? You know what time it is? Enough of all this nonsense. I'm tired of talking. I want to talk to our special guest. Let's go.
And now, a special guest.
Gideon! You know what? Gideon, listen, man. One thing that I know for sure is that I think that it is irresponsible, and I think it drags the power to mispronounce a strong African last name. So I need you to help me out, my friend. Please help us out with your last name.
It is Egbuchulum. Egbuchulum.
Egbuchulum.
Egbuchulum.
Egbuchulum. Okay,
Exactly.
well, I'm gonna
Close.
probably touch it up because it's Zoom and I can't hear exactly how that is pronounced.
No worries.
Please help us out. What part of Africa is that?
Well, my family is from Nigeria, so yeah, West Africa.
I was right. I'm sorry. That's just me. Mr. B, you said you were Ethiopian.
Ethiopia, maybe. I said maybe Ethiopian. Maybe.
So so you've known him longer, and he doesn't have anything. He doesn't know anything about you, Gideon. It's terrible. Okay.
Dude, that's not true.
You put it on the spot.
I know I did. Okay, listen. I need to get Gideon's artwork here. You are an incredible artist, my friend. You're also actually one of the newest members of the team for the Sirron Norris Academy, which I'm very grateful about. So not only are you an incredible artist, but you are also a teacher. Can you help us and tell us a little bit about your art?
Yeah, so, I grew up watching a lot of, old pulpy television, Johnny Quest, Zorro, and then obviously, when anime started to get syndicated, in the 90s, right, or early 2000s, with Dragon Ball Z and Gundam, those things really influenced me in a really profound way. And in a lot of ways, I knew deep inside that I wanted to create similar worlds, similar experiences that I had as a young boy growing up in East Side San Jose. So that's definitely where a lot of the love and passion comes from my work. So I feel like I'm getting closer, but not quite there yet. But with anything, I'm always learning. Even though I'm a teacher, I'm still a student.
Right on. Mr. B, what you got?
So, I'm wondering, well, the first question that I wrote down is, are you Nigerian? We've already touched base on that. Number 2.
Are you Batman?
I'm not mad. I'm happy that we are all on the same page now. That's what's important.
Yes.
Let me ask you, and you actually did a good job of also kind of touching into how you got started and your influences too. Now, can you also tell me about how you feel like your culture affects your style?
That's a good question. When I was growing up, obviously, last year was a really profound year for a lot of us, and I think as Black men, we kind of got to see the world react, right? And I think, when I was a kid, I wasn't entirely sold or in love with being a Black African kid, in America. I just wasn't proud of my heritage. But as I got older, I started to embrace it a lot more. And I started to, my characters actually used to look a lot more Caucasian, but eventually I started to sort of, as I matured, my character started to look more like me, or at least the way I saw myself and seeing that within my work. So it's been an interesting, meditation. And I think that if anything, Africa is a beautiful, continent, and it's full of colors and people, music and food, and there's just so much essence, and flair that I think that's why the whole world is pretty much inspired by African people and by our culture. So I tried to kind of bring that into my work in my own way, in my own, trying to bring that voice into my work. So, yeah, that's a good question, though. Yeah.
You got good questions. So your parents are first generation?
Yeah. So my mother, I think she's been in America for about 15 years, I think. So yeah, and I was born here in America. So, she came here to the U.S. and then I think a year later she had me, and that was it, and she never saw her home again. And so, maybe one day I'll be able to get her a ticket and send her to Nigeria so she can see her family again. So it's been a very long time. But, going back to Mr. B's question, or Brendon's question, Quasar Soldiers, which is the comic book that you're trying right now, actually incorporates a little bit of that Nigerian mythology. And I'm trying to kind of bring those stories, at least the ones that I grew up with, and bring that into this modern science fiction world, that kind of, brings in a bit of that Silver Age feel too, as well. So.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Sorry to interrupt you, Mr. B. I'm sorry. You had questions?
No. Well, this is the last question too, because I know getting time is very valuable. We don't want to take up too much of it. But if you had to give, this is a tough one too. So if you want to take a second to think about it, but if you had to give one piece of golden advice to an aspiring artist, what would it be? You could tell them one thing. Aspiring artist. They say, Gideon, I love your stuff. Tell me one thing. What's the most important thing you want to communicate to?
I think there's two things, but trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. I think that in my own experience, I feel like I had all the ingredients, right? All the ingredients that makes an artist, right? At least from my lifestyle and the way I was kind of going about it. But none of it really matters if you don't apply it, you don't trust yourself and execute it, right? It's not like, oh, I don't know if I should enter that art show. Oh, I don't know if I should go to a Comic-Con or do a panel or I should do an interview. But if you trust yourself and believe in yourself and have that confidence, I think that so much can really come out of it, And so it's really important to be your biggest fan, all the way through. That's something that I try to stand by a little bit. That's not a little bit, a lot in my journey.
Right on. I got one last question, then we'll get you out of here. I see that you have a deep connection artistically to women, especially the female form. And it reads to me that that's something that you've worked on for a long time. So I'm asking, like, number one, when did that be your main? I feel like it is definitely on the top of the list of your repertoire. And so when did you get inspired by focusing on that? And then that being said, what exact thing in terms of influence inspired you?
Yeah, it's funny. I've been getting asked that question quite a lot, and every time people ask me that, I'm always like, man, I didn't notice. I didn't know that I was doing that. I literally did not know I was drawing, a lot of feminine, figures, right? But I think where it comes from is because my father walked out when I was young, and so when I was a teenager. So, a lot of the women, they stepped up in my life, right? And so I think when I think about strength and think about what that means to me, I guess I think about a woman, right? And I think that's why they end up a lot in my work, and that's why the main character in my comic book is female, and so on, throughout my repertoire or my work. So, yeah.
Literally the best answer you could have ever had. Okay. Right on. Sorry to interrupt you. I apologize.
No, you're good. No, you're good.
Okay. Well, I don't even know if my dad showed up. My parents usually show up, but I don't think they showed up. It's getting close to his bedtime anyways. So, I forgot to text him anyways. So my dad usually shows up and texts or sends little messages in there. But there's your Instagram. There's Gideon's Instagram there. I'm really excited for the future for you working with us and teaching.
Likewise.
We have a collection of these cartoonists here that we're building and trying to spread the love all throughout the Bay Area and beyond. So I'm happy to have you part of our group. We're slowly building it, but it's been fun and the future is just waiting for us. So we're going for it. So welcome to the club, man.
Thank you so much.
Hey, no, Roy. Yeah. Okay. So Gideon, that was awesome to have him here. Representing San Jose. You're from San Jose, so you're kind of that's back in your space now. But now you're representing South San Francisco, huh? My future home.
San Francisco, but it is what it is.
South San Francisco. I'll be painting a mural there, hopefully next month at Gardner Park. So check us out there in South San Francisco. Other than that, bring Annabelle back in here.
Good show, guys. Gideon is so talented. We're lucky to have him on. I can't wait to, have him instruct more of our youth. They're very fortunate.
I'm super excited. Do we have shout outs, Mr. B? Do you have shout outs?
There is one thing I'd like to give credit to Henry, who is responsible for some of the visuals that we use for Perfect. Henry Pender 18. He's responsible for that intro, that little kind of image we use for the art show where it's a stylized version of Sirron and I's head, no features. That's courtesy of Henry. Thank you so much for putting that together for us. Really
awesome.
Appreciate that.
Using it for our logo. It's awesome. Super appreciative. Other than that, what we did it in 30. We did it in 30 minutes. Wow, that's awesome, man.
Oh wait, we have
Outside
one.
of the last announcement, Annabelle or me? Who wants to?
Camp.
Someone needed to do it.
Camp.
Summer camp is coming up. Registration is live as we speak.
June 7th.
We are doing it all outdoors in the backyard of the studio, and then around the parks in the neighborhood.
Online classes,
and then we're rotating with weeks of online.
Classes starting June 7th all the way through July 30th. We're skipping the week of July 4th. So come check us out. In-person classes, staggered by online classes. Everybody has access. This is an accessible camp. Can't wait to have it.
It's going to be a good time. It'll be all three of us, and we'll all be vaccinated. Yes. We'll be having masks off. Not when the kids are around, but when we're around, we could probably pull that off, right?
Yeah, in a very sanitized, disinfected area.
Make the call when it comes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. We'll see you for the next show. We're gonna have another special guest.
Thank you, Roy.
Lori's here. Lori, we love you.
Thank you, Roy. Thank you, Roy.
Rory. Oh, Roy. Yeah. Thank you, Roy. Roy.
Roy, much appreciation for always.
Yeah, Roy's always there for us. Nice job today, Roy, with all the transitions, dude. Top-notch work, my friend.
Yes, Ron.
Okay, everyone. Stay safe. Get vaccinated. We will see you guys soon.